Melvin wakes up in a room. He's got nothing on but his underwear. There's no door in the room. All there is a toilet, a sink, and a shower. Melvin is super confused. He has no clue how he ended up here. He yells out,
"Yo! Can you hear me?"
but all he gets in return is silence. There's a black square panel on the wall that looks like an exit. Melvin runs over and bangs on it, but still no answer. He starts to freak out because he realizes he's stuck in this room. Suddenly, there's a ding sound. Melvin sees a computer behind him. The word share pops up on the screen. He types on the keyboard, asking the system where he is, but the system just keeps asking share. Melvin has no choice but to type yes. Then the screen shows sharing has started, but still no one shows up. Annoyed, Melvin goes to use the toilet and finds out there's no water to flush. He lies down on the floor trying to figure out the situation. Melvin is trapped in the room and can't find a way out. In his frustration, he farts. Right away, a number pops up in the top left corner of the screen and stops at 5. The system asks Melvin if he wants to buy something. He types buy water, and the 5 is deducted. Melvin quickly goes over to the faucet and drinks until he's full. It turns out that the numbers are currency, and Melvin made money by farting. So, this is like a live streaming room. You can only make money here by sharing your performances. Melvin is a 20-year-old college student. He was sleeping in his dorm, and when he woke up, he was here. He doesn't know how to get out. All he knows is that he has to make money to survive. So, he starts his show. He walks around like a gorilla and farts at the same time. The reward amount in the top left corner keeps going up and reaches 8. Then Melvin clicks on the eating option. This is the money Melvin made from farting. The system shows 3 options: good, great, and awesome. The prices are 10, 20, and 30 respectively. Melvin is still too short of buying food. He sighs and thinks, forget it, I'll just go hungry. He's really tired from all the acting and is super sleepy. After all, he thinks maybe this is just a dream, but he also has to pay 5 to turn off the lights. The room goes dark, but less than a minute after he lies down, his stomach starts growling. He has to get up and make more money. Farting doesn't work anymore, so he tries to do a handstand, but since he hasn't eaten, he falls right to the floor. Surprisingly, his clumsy fall makes the reward amount shoot up to 16. Finally, he can buy food. Melvin can only afford the $10 food. A voice comes from the board behind him. When he checks, he finds that he's only been given a serving of dog food. Melvin gets angry and asks the screen,
"You think this is funny?"
But no one answers him. Melvin's stomach is growling so much from hunger that he throws his pride away. He gets down on the floor and eats the dog food, barking like a dog. Right away, he earns 34. Then he buys some clothes, but it turns out to be a huge bra. Melvin is speechless, but he doesn't let it stop him. He starts dancing like a club dancer in front of the screen. Finally, he's able to buy a decent piece of clothing. After that, he really gets into making money. He does somersaults and finger dances, doing everything he can think of. He earns hundreds of dollars. He buys a mattress, a razor, and a mirror. Slowly, he's getting used to this life, even though there's no one to talk to. These days, it's just a cycle of performing and sleeping, and Melvin is about to go crazy with boredom. One day, he has some drinks and starts smashing the screen with a bottle. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. The next second, the room suddenly loses power. It's like the system is punishing him. Without the lights, Melvin feels even more alone. Melvin yells at the system,
"Let me out! Let me out!"
He starts throwing things and hitting everything in sight, but the room stays dark. He has no choice but to give in and apologize.
Sorry. I'm a good person. Just sorry, I'm a good person, I promise.
The next moment, the lights come back on and a string of code appears on the screen. It turns out that the system was just updating. Melvin smiles, feeling like he's been given a new lease on life. Then a chat window pops up in the bottom right corner of the screen. There's an old man named Bradley who's in the exact same situation, trapped in an identical room. Bradley congratulates Melvin on unlocking the chat function. Now, Melvin finally has someone to talk to. It turns out that to unlock functions, you need to earn a certain amount of reward money. People who have earned a 3-digit amount can unlock the chat function. Bradley is a historian. He's been stuck in this room for 50 years. He makes money by giving history lectures every day, but he doesn't make much. He only earns about $10 or $20 a day. just enough to buy one meal. He tells Melvin that they should do some interactive things to make more money. Bradley learned magic when he was young, and he taught it to Melvin. Melvin is a bit clumsy and slow to learn. He often messes up the magic tricks in front of the screen, but his clumsy attempts are kind of funny, and it makes people laugh. Because of that, he quickly earns over $2,000. He buys a lot of furniture and starts to fill up his lonely room. Melvin's reward money has now reached 4 digits. He unlocks the friend-making function. Under each person's profile, there's a live stream account number. You can enter someone else's room by typing in a number, but you have to pay to do it. Melvin types in a random number and sees someone doing yoga. In another room, it's even raining. It seems like there's a bug in the system. Melvin sees a woman taking a bath. When the woman realizes she's being watched, she quickly wraps herself in a bath towel, runs out, and calls Melvin a pervert. Melvin is so scared that he quickly turns around. Bradley, however, says that with the addition of a new member, they can have more interactions and earn more money. The woman, Alice, strongly criticizes them for getting too comfortable in their current situation and forgetting that they're trapped. She thinks they should find a way to escape. Bradley, feeling that he's already old and has been stuck here since he was young, with no children to take care of him, even if he gets out, believes it's more comfortable to stay. So Bradley and Alice start arguing, and in the end, Bradley gets so angry that he can't stop coughing. At night, Bradley's coughing gets worse and worse, and it suddenly triggers a stroke. He stumbles and falls face first onto the screen. Alice is immediately frightened. She and Melvin quickly buy medicine for Bradley, but he's too weak to stand up and get the medicine. And then, the next moment, suddenly a big fire breaks out in Bradley's room. Alice knows a bit of hacking skills, so she immediately tries to break into the code of Bradley's room, but she's blocked by the firewall. And in an instant, Bradley is engulfed by the fire. Finally, with a scream, he loses his life completely. Melvin and Alice are shocked. But at the same time, they understand a fact. If a person in the room loses his/her value, he/she will be erased by the system on the spot. Both of them are very sad and don't talk for 3 days and 3 nights. Before, they had been living comfortably in the room, just doing performances and sleeping every day without feeling scared. But at this moment, they realize that this place is not heaven, but hell. Melvin decides to find a way to escape. He suddenly remembers that someone's room was raining before, which means there must be a loophole in the system. Since all the rooms are controlled by the system, as long as they find the loophole, they can definitely escape. But the two of them are too weak, so Melvin calls on everyone to look for the system loophole together. Melvin is preparing to escape from this room. When Danielle, who teaches yoga, hears about it, she says that life here is happy. There's no backstabbing, and they can earn money just by doing performances every day. It's much better than the outside world, and she has already earned more than $10,000 in rewards and has become a big internet celebrity here. But Alice says that Danielle can stay as long as she wants, but she shouldn't stop others from making their decisions. Danielle sleeps during the day and only wakes up to live stream at night. So, when Alice is sleeping, Danielle tries to persuade Melvin to stay, saying that she will always be with him. Melvin sees Danielle's smile and can't help but smile back. His belief in escaping is gradually being broken down. At this time, Alice gets up to go to the bathroom at night. She sees the two of them chatting secretly and feels very uncomfortable, so she comes over with a pair of scissors. Alice actually starts cutting her hair. Melvin doesn't understand what she's doing. As she cuts her hair, Alice says, "I don't want to be stuck in the current situation. I must escape." So, she uses this way of cutting her hair to strengthen her belief. Because of her actions, Melvin re-examines his own heart. Then he goes to other people's live streaming rooms, wanting to see if others also want to escape. As a result, he sees a newbie, just like he was at the beginning, wearing only a pair of underwear, waking up in the room looking confused and not knowing what to do. This scene wakes up his longing for freedom again. But at this moment, he wants to know how many people are actually trapped in these rooms. So, he calls on everyone again, asking each person to tip him $1. The number in the upper left corner immediately soars to hundreds of thousands, then millions, tens of millions, and finally stops at over 100 million. Melvin and Alice are shocked. There are actually over 100 million people trapped here. Danielle gets excited instantly. She thinks that this amount of money is more than enough to last 2 lifetimes. She starts persuading Melvin to stay again. Alice immediately scolds her for being a money worshiper and even says that she's a spy sent by the system. The two start arguing immediately. Right after that, a fire suddenly breaks out in their room. Both Alice and Danielle die. Melvin is stunned when he sees this. It turns out the peace must be maintained in the live streaming rooms. If there's a conflict, they will be dealt with by the system immediately. Just when Melvin is sad, a door suddenly opens behind him, and outside the door is the outside world. Melvin can't believe it. It turns out that as long as one earns 100 million in rewards, they can leave immediately. He excitedly tells everyone,
"We did it! We did it!"
But at this moment, the door closes again. Melvin is left dumbfounded. He realizes that he didn't go out immediately just now because he couldn't bear to part with the $100 million reward. So, he makes a show-like gesture and willingly stays behind, eventually becoming a puppet of greed. This film is called Share. Although it's a low-budget film in 2023, the one after another plot and the ending that reveals human nature are both very wonderful. But who are the audience watching the Room live streams exactly? I think they are exactly the over 100 million people in the Room system. Welcome friends to type your thoughts in the comment section. See you next time.